Can I give you a kiss?
За все! За все, что вы сделали для нашего народа! Для нас!
Будем же беречь мир во имя будущего.
Okay, stop. Okay, so truly, again, they no longer make films like this today. But again, did you notice how The Fall of Berlin is effectively the story of a couple reunited? The World War II serves as the obstacle to be overcome so that the hero can reach his love. Like the dragon the knight has to kill to get to the princess imprisoned in a castle. The role of Stalin, again, is that of a magician and matchmaker who wisely leads the couple to their reunion. Another thing to be analyzed in a closer, more refined approach is, did you notice something that a very precise economy that the two scenes share? That's beneath this ridicule. How they, in the first scene in the field, the girl and her future husband, lover, embrace, but it is as if there must be an outburst of passion, but which must be staged. It's no, we have to go apart so that then, oh, you are, and so on. And it's the same at the end. Basically, they see each other, but it is as if they need their time to organize the passion, you know. She looks a little bit and then, oh, Alyosha, are you there? It's a very strange temporality where not official speech, but passion is basically presented as something that ultimately has to be organized and staged and so on. Okay, just the last example from this comical series, then we go, unfortunately, to more serious stuff. I think the same interpretive key fits also science fiction catastrophe films. In Mimi Leder's Deep Impact, a gigantic comet which is threatening to hit the Earth also creates a couple, although an unexpected one. The incestuous couple of the young, obviously neurotic, sexually inactive TV reporter and her promiscuous father, who has divorced her mother and just married a younger woman. The film is effectively a drama about this unresolved incestuous father-daughter relationship. The threatening comet obviously gives body to the self-destructive rage of the heroine. So the entire machinery of global catastrophe is set in motion so that the father's young wife will abandon him and the father will return not to his wife but to her daughter. The culmination of the film is the scene in which the heroine rejoins her father who, alone on a beach, awaits the impending wave. And my thesis is that this scene is to be read against the background of the standard Hollywood motif, rendered famous, for example, in Fred Zinnemann's From Here to Eternity, of a couple making love on the beach, brushed by gently, softly by waves. You know, Burt Lancaster and Deborah Kerr. Here, the couple is the truly deadly incestuous one, not a straight one. So the wave is here not the modest shape of small beach waves, but a slightly larger wave.
Came down here to let you know that.
Thank you.
I've missed you since then.
Okay, so now enough of fun. Let's move towards slightly more serious waters. First, an interesting thing to note is how even high art cinema is not free of such ideological framing. Let me take a well-known serious film, Andrei Tarkovsky's Solaris, and compare it with Stanislav Lem's classic science fiction novel, also Solaris, on which it is based. Solaris is a planet with an oceanic fluid surface which moves incessantly and from time to time imitates recognizable forms. Soon after his arrival to a spaceship above the planet Solaris, Kelvin, the hero, finds at his side, in his bed, his dead wife, Harry, who years ago on Earth killed herself after he abandoned her. Kelvin finally understands that Harry is a materialization of his own innermost traumatic fantasies. Solaris is a gigantic brain which directly materializes our innermost fantasies. So Tarkovsky's Solaris is really about the hero's inner journey, about his attempt to come to terms with his past sins, with his repressed truth. Basically, it's the same as Dinosaurs and so on. It's really a story of a man coming to terms with his mistakes in his love life, and the planet is just a pretext, but not in the novel. Stanislav Lem's novel, which is much better, I think, focuses on this inert presence of the planet, of this thing which thinks. The point of the novel is precisely that Solaris remains an impenetrable other, with no possible communication to it. True, it returns our innermost fantasies, but it remains totally impenetrable. Why does it do it? Is it a purely mechanical response? Does it play demonic games with us? Does it do it to help us or whatever? It would thus be interesting to put Tarkovsky in the series of Hollywood commercial rewritings of novels which have served as the base for a movie. Tarkovsky does exactly the same to the novel as the lowest Hollywood producer would have done it, reinscribing the enigmatic encounter with an impenetrable otherness into the framework of the production of the couple. It's interesting to note this. However, Tarkovsky, as a true artist, also shows the way out of this ideological deadlock. There is a famous scene in his Mirror in which the heroine, who works as a proofreader for a daily newspaper in the Soviet Union of the mid-1930s, runs in rain from her home to the printing office and then runs there along the corridors, looking desperately for where are the proofs of, because there is a suspicion that she missed an obscene misprint of Stalin's name. Tarkovsky incidentally refers here to a well-known legend according to which in the time of the darkest purges, an issue of Pravda was almost printed in which Stalin's name was misspelled Sralin. Srat means to shit. Not a good thing to do in the mid-30s. Okay, then that's all the narrative event. Just she runs there and finally Relief discovers that the mistake was corrected. But here is Sean Martin's nice comment on this scene. I quote, "It is as if Tarkovsky were content just to watch Margarita Terekova, the actress, running through the rain, down steps, across yards, into corridors. Here, Tarkovsky reveals the presence of beauty in something that is apparently mundane and paradoxically, given the period, also potentially fatal for Maria, the heroine, if the mistake she thinks she had made has gone to press." Please.
Куда это вы так спешите?
Okay. Can you put the sound a little bit lower, please? So that, unfortunately, it's obscene what I'm doing now, but that's the sound a little bit lower. So, the effect of beauty is generated precisely by the excessive length of the scene. Instead of just watching Maria running and immersed into the narrative, worrying if she will arrive on time to prevent the catastrophe, we are seduced into looking at the scene, taking note of its phenomenal nature, the intensity of movement, the dilapidated, crumbling, but nonetheless, in a strange way, attractive background, and so on. So that's, I think, the first move to do, what Gilles Deleuze called
Мария Николаевна, где сверка, которую я вчера вычитывала? Я не знаю. Я ведь только неделю здесь.
Sorry, from movement image to time image. When things go slow, you suddenly, as it were, notice the background. I think it's a beautiful procedure. And I think, okay, so let's simply go on, leave it to the end, please, and then please let it go on with the next clip, which is from the Chinese film Still Life. Let's just enjoy this as a background.
Надо посмотреть в шкафу, набор. Конечно, вы же сами их туда положили.
With such procedure with the couple. My next example will be, I think, a beautiful Chinese film. I'm not sure I will pronounce the director's name correctly.
Но ведь это же такое издание.
Ой, это же такое.